Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? We are going to be doing my wedding makeup and chatting about all of your juicy wedding, love, relationship questions. Before we jump into the look, I did have a quick announcement for y'all. I do have a community membership available now. I previously had exclusive content on Patreon, but I didn't really love the Patreon app and I didn't like posting separately from YouTube. So I'm really excited to have my membership through YouTube now, where you can get an exclusive monthly video and everything is on YouTube. You don't have to go anywhere else. This month's video is already live and available, and it's just really nice to have a safe space where I feel like I can just talk even more openly with y'all and share my life. Your support means the world to me. It means being able to do my dream job. So I could never say thank you enough, but just wanted to let you know that that is an option that is available now. And yeah, let's jump on into my wedding makeup. I'm filming with completely natural light, which I almost never do, so you'll have to let me know if you like the lighting in this video, but I'm gonna start off with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in the shade 1 Fair Pale and use this as my base. I did already moisturize with just the classic simple Milk Makeup Milk Moisturizer, and I kind of let it already sink in. And you know, most days I will go in with some sunscreen first, but for this look, throw the sunscreen away. We do not want white cast in our wedding photos. That's what I know. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this to my skin pretty generously. It looks a little yellow when I'm throwing it on like this, but I'm just gonna blend it in. It kind of shears out, and I'm using a BK Beauty 101. I wrote down most of the questions I got from y'all, so I think that we should start off with how we met, how long we've been together, just, you know, to set the tone. We actually met through my sister and brother-in-law because my brother-in-law and my husband have almost the same exact job. One day my sister asked me if I wanted to go over for dinner, and they were making eggplant parmesan, which I don't really like that meal that much, but it meant not having to cook dinner myself. So I was like, sure, I'll be there. And she's like, oh, by the way, our friend is coming, like it'll just be like cool. It was not a setup whatsoever. For my foundation, I'm going to go into a mixture of the Pat McGrath Labs foundation in the shade Light 2 and then the About Face foundation in the shade F2 Olive. I like to add just a dot of this to get this undertone to be right, because this is very neutral and this is my favorite foundation combo, and it was a no-brainer that I was going to wear this for my wedding makeup. So it was not a setup, and I can say that with confidence because, you know, we met and I thought he was cute. I thought he had kind eyes, but I was just like, I didn't think anything of it, was not thinking about needing a man whatsoever, just living my own life. And I guess he ended up telling my sister, my brother-in-law, that he thought I was pretty and he'd want to take me on a date. And they told me that, but the long story is that he told my sister that multiple times. My sister told him no multiple times, so she was just being very protective of me. But eventually he did gain the courage to ask me out to dinner. I liked him. I wanted him to ask me out, and he said he had no clue, like nothing to read. Like you could not tell I liked him at all. Like he was like, I was nervous because you were not giving me any signs. And I was like, I feel like I was giving you signs, but I guess I wasn't. So that was what, like 3.5 years ago now. But for my wedding makeup concealer, I did go in with the Hourglass concealer in the shade Birch, which was kind of a wild card because I was still testing this out and it was pretty new to me. And I like it, but it is very heavy, very full coverage. But I guess, you know, that's good when you're trying to do like a very glam moment, but it is definitely not my like favorite everyday under eye concealer. And then let me see. I believe I went in with my Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector in the shade Fair Light just to color correct a little bit underneath the eyes. And I used the NARS Light Chantilly to spot conceal anything I needed to conceal. Luckily, on that day, I was not breaking out. Today I am. Today I've got a little friend here. We're gonna try and cover up and do our best. So quite a few of y'all wanted to know how I knew that he was the one. And the first time I ever said like to my best friend, I think he's the one, I remember we went to a baseball game and we weren't paying attention to the game at all. We were just talking so intently about life and politics, and we were just having an incredibly deep conversation. And it's not that we have the same exact opinions on everything, it's just that the communication was there. And there's also some things that I feel really passionately about that he also felt passionately about, and I just remember thinking like that we had a lot of compatibility and I could just talk to him forever. One of the biggest things I love about him is he is so family oriented. He loves his family so much, and I get it. I get why, because I love his family. Like, they are my family now. No take backsies. They're the best, like just so warm and amazing. But he's also already completely integrated himself into my family in terms of being an amazing stepfather. Parents really love him, especially my dad. Like, they could just talk forever. Every time we visit my parents, I'm like, okay, come on, let's go, let's go. Like, they both could just chit chat for hours. I also wanted to know why we had such a short engagement. But the funny thing is that you don't even know the half of it. I've been married for months. Basically, I knew that my husband was going to be working long distance for several months, and we just wanted to do it before that. Originally, we were thinking like, oh, we'll just do like, you know, go to the court, literally sign the paperwork, and then do something bigger later on. But we already had a trip planned to go to New York and visit his family, and my now sister-in-law can officiate weddings. So we were like, oh, but what if we did it with her? Because then it would be like a little bit warmer, a little bit more special than just like doing it at the court here. So we legitimately organized an entire wedding in 1 week. And it was a surprise. Nobody knew except for my sister-in-law. So when we got to New York, we went to the courthouse, we got all the paperwork we needed. We didn't want to say anything till we like had it, you know, in hand. And then we were like, by the way, you guys, we're having a wedding tomorrow. So that was really fun. And I did get some questions like asking if I had a Pinterest board, if I was a bridezilla, what's my wedding inspo. And I have to be so honest with y'all, I don't care about those things that much. I've never really been like, well, I will say I've always loved wedding dresses. I've loved watching Say Yes to the Dress for years. Like, that was my favorite show growing up. But then as an adult, I just feel like so much of the wedding industry is a scam, because like just looking, like you're looking for something simple. You're looking for something with like not a crazy amount of people. And it's like, yeah, that's going to be $6,000 for the day. And that does not include anything. That's just the venue. And it's like, I just feel like it ends up being a crazy amount of money that you spend for one day. So I was perfectly happy with it being small and tiny and affordable. My husband and I kind of differ now, because he still really wants to do like an actual wedding, but I'm kind of like, if we don't do something bigger, I'm okay, because I feel like we're already married. We're already husband and wife. Like, I want to do something with both of our families, like celebrating, but I don't necessarily feel like I need to like do this giant thing. I just never had like this idea of a dream wedding. And I guess like if I had an unlimited budget, like I can think of some things I would want to do, but I don't know. It's just not appealing to me. I'm sorry. To set my face, and I did want to set my face for this day because I did not want anything moving, I used my Pat McGrath powders. Unfortunately, traveling with these left them both shattered along with my heart, but I used the shade Light kind of on like the outskirts of my face, and then I use the shade Baby Pink underneath my eyes, and it kind of blends into my blush. You'll see in just a moment. So that's what I'm using here. I can't really show you inside because it is very, I mean, it's a mess. I think our flight to New York was on a Thursday, and that Monday prior, we were literally at the mall. Within hours, I found a dress to wear for the wedding. It was just something like cute that I found at, I think it was Macy's, and it was nice because it actually had like, not tulle exactly, but it had structure to it to where it like kind of puffed out a little bit, and I thought it was like a little bit more cute and bridal. I mean, I can leave a picture here for you of me wearing it. I liked it. I thought it was cute. And then we also found his wedding ring. We found a super cute outfit for my son to wear at H&M. I'm telling you, if you have children, do not sleep on H&M Kids. Like, they have some of the nicest stuff. Basically, everything came together really easily and it just felt like fate. I even got like a cute bouquet on Amazon for like $20 and it was perfect. It was a perfect little prop, like cannot complain. Okay, so I love using those powders to set my face because I feel like everything is in place, but you can still see the glowy finish of the foundation. Like you're not losing that. It's not completely mattifying. I don't know if this is weird, but for my wedding makeup, I skipped out on bronzer. I wanted this like fresh face of makeup and I felt like bronzer just was not my vibe that day. So for my cheeks, I just used my collaboration with Adept, my blush palette. I mean, this is my perfect blush palette. Of course, it's what I'm gonna use. So I went in with the shade Mishka as my blush and then Athena as my highlighter. I did use it lightly and just kind of buff it on the skin. I've really been liking the rougher 05 brush for this step because I feel like it's a little bit softer. It's a little bit more buildable with this type of brush because you can really pack the pigment on, but I wanted more of just like a soft wash of color and that's definitely what this brush delivers. Like just the perfect amount of blush. Obviously, you can build up a little bit and I think I did, you know, add a decent amount just so it would show up in pictures and would last all day, but I just think this is just such a good brush. This is a cute one. I guess I could have mentioned this before when I was talking about why I love my husband and whatnot, but you guys asked what made him a good fit for me, and I feel like he just makes me feel so taken care of. And I've definitely been on the struggle bus before. I mean, if you haven't been on my channel for a long time, I got married and divorced extremely young. I was in an abusive relationship and I ended up becoming a single mom at like 19 years old, and I definitely had the mentality that like I had to take care of everything, I had to do everything, whatever needed to be done was all on me. So meeting someone who takes care of me and lets me be a passenger princess, like anything that's wrong in the house, like he can figure it out, he'll do it. He's so good at taking care of things. Makes me feel very loved, very secure. I'm going in with Athena on that same brush just to get that like all over soft glow. Like you see how pretty that is? If you've used these highlighters and you thought, oh, like it's a little bit too intense for you, try going in with a really fluffy brush because I feel like they pick up beautifully and you can really change the finish to just very natural and just like a soft glow. I'm gonna go into the Benefit Precisely My Brow Brow Wax in the shade 2 for just a natural, slightly more voluminous, fluffy brow. Someone did ask if I did a trial for my wedding makeup, and I did not. For eyeshadow primer, I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer just a little bit because this is very, very pale. And I'm pretty sure I also used the NYX Glitter Glue when I did my makeup, but I'm not quite sure where that is right now. That really helps with longevity, especially for shimmer shadows and just keeping everything in place. I am gonna go over that outer corner just with my blush brush because I hate when I go in with too much eye primer and then it's kind of like very pale and you can see where it ends. So I'm just making sure that's soft right there. Obviously for eyeshadow, going into my collab palette, this was such an honor to use for my wedding makeup. It just made it even more special. So I went in with the shade 1997 first. I'm just picking up a tiny, tiny little bit of that and starting it off on my outer V and then blending into my crease. And this is the only matte shadow that I used for the day. It was honestly a pretty simple look, but I feel like it turned out super cute. I also got some questions of, do you have any regrets? And the only thing is I realized I did not take a single up close picture of my makeup. We took a bunch of photos together. We took some cute videos. I didn't even take a selfie, but I think it's just because I was, oh wait, no. Oh, I thought of the biggest regret. Oh my God. The night before, my sister-in-law decided to take me out for a bachelorette style party. I had way too much tequila. So I'm gonna use that shade on a tiny little pencil brush, just connecting my lower lash line. Love this brush from BK Beauty. The Nikki LaRose N11 is so good. I'm also gonna use 1997 and just tap that on my lash line just to add a little bit more fullness. For my inner corner, I'm gonna go back into Athena, and this is not formulated for use on the eyes, so I don't recommend doing this. And you could use Lights Up here, but Lights Up has more sparkle to it, and I wanted something just a tiny bit softer. So I'm gonna bring that into my lid just a little bit. This is the point where I would throw some NYX glitter primer on if I had it right now, but I'm just gonna go into the shade Floral with my finger, and that was my main lid shade. It's just like a beautiful, soft mauve pink. I feel like I might have used just a touch of Glam on top. I can't remember. I might have, just for like a little extra sparkle. So I think I'm just gonna pick up a tiny bit of Glam. You can see it's so sparkly, and I'm just gonna tap. Yeah, I think that's what I did. Just right over top of Floral, just very softly. For my mascara, I used the Panorama from L'Oreal, and the reason why is because this was the waterproof mascara that I had open at the time, and I didn't know if I was going to shed a few tears or not, but I just wanted to make sure that I was covered. I also got a question about any standout memories I have of the day, and I would say that the day in general was just, I don't know, it felt really special because of everything my sister-in-law did, but also, I don't know if this is gonna sound silly, but I loved getting married in New York because I've always loved New York City. And since I was a little girl, I've always loved Spanish. I remember like asking for like books to learn Spanish when I was like in 3rd grade, and it was always an interest of mine. And we did our wedding ceremony in Spanish, so it was really beautiful and just perfect. I had to finish my mascara to tell you my most standout moment that just, I don't know, I think is so cute. After our ceremony, we decided to go to a really cool Japanese restaurant. I had some delicious ramen, that's besides the point, but when we were on our way out of the restaurant, we noticed that they have a claw machine, and my husband was like, oh, I'm gonna win you something. And I didn't think too much of it because he has tried to win things for me before, unsuccessfully. He got like the little coins for it, and he ended up actually winning something, and here's what it is. It's just the cutest little unicorn, and we said that one day when we have a baby, this will be their first stuffed animal, and we won it the day that we got married, so I'm gonna cry. Okay, so for my lippy, this is kind of part of a larger story, but I saw this TikTok that was suggesting before you get married, go pick out a new cologne and a new perfume to wear on your wedding day, and it kind of just seals that smell with those memories, and it makes it like a really special scent that you can smell down the road and, you know, have that nostalgia, and I just loved the idea of it. So we went to Sephora and Ulta, and we literally smelt everything, and I believe he ended up picking out like, what is it, like Paco Rabanne or something? I'm not sure what it's called, but it's like 1 in a million. But it smelled really, really good. I ended up picking out the Carolina Herrera Good Girl Blush, and it smells so good. It's also like the most ridiculous, extravagant packaging, like the perfect wedding perfume. Oh, and it works. It really does work. It brings me right back. It smells so, so good. But basically, when we were at Ulta, I saw this lipstick and I thought it was so cute. So my husband bought it for me. It's called the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Revolution lipstick in the shade Wedding Bells. So it is a like wedding version, and it's the Charlotte Tilbury packaging, but it has the cute little sparkles all over it, and it's just a really pretty nude. I'm gonna throw that on real quick. There's what it looks like just like put on normally, but I did blot this. I don't know if you can tell, it just gives it a slightly softer look, and that way there's no transfer when you kiss the bride who wants to have lipstick on them. Okay, I'm gonna take my hair down while I answer your last question that I have written down here, which I just wanted to talk about because I thought it was cute. Somebody asked if Amanda makeup just for fun and her family get along well with my husband, and they do. We both have a Taurus, Sagittarius, Libra combo between our little families. We both have sons. We just all click so well. It makes me so happy, and it's sweet that you guys are interested to hear that too. But I would say Amanda and her husband have definitely given him a thumbs up. They helped him with the engagement. So that is almost the complete look. I did curl my hair for the wedding, but I almost never curl my hair because of the heat damage. And I also have like really long, thick hair, so it takes a million years to do. In the last several years, the only time that I have curled my hair is for our wedding and for our first date. That's been it. Unless I'm using the overnight sleeping system. Thank you again for all of your well wishes on my marriage. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.